Alright, so I got the scaling working like I wanted it to work across the network too, although I believe there's a slight hitch when you let go. But now you can keep holding it with that hand, scale this one, and let go of that hand to have it work. Pull it around to where you want and keep it relative to the hand in a new position. So I added some additional naming conventions to the secondary grip enum that I added. So now it says, if it says retain on the end, when you let go, instead of lerping back to its original location, it retains the new position like that. I realized I was already replicating back the struct for the grip settings when I was letting go of them with the secondary grip, and it only replicates back what changed. But I figured as long as I'm doing it anyways there, I might as well set the relative transform to the new one. So retain will replicate over the network the new relative transform from the server. The server has authority on it. Unless it's a locally gripped actor, of course, and the server doesn't have authority over it. If it doesn't say retain, then it doesn't retain the position and it moves back. And that includes scaling. It'll alert back on scaling too. As you can see here, with this gun, it will now rescale with my hands, retain its position. When I pick it up, it'll shrink to fit perfectly to my hand to where the slot should be. So it's pretty interesting. I made some replication changes. By default, I didn't have the replication settings on grippable objects replicating beforehand. I didn't want to mess with people that are trying to do it client-side too much. And I realized today that's probably causing some confusion with people because the client won't see changes that the server makes to this on one that you place in the level by default. You'd have to set it to net load on map on client as well. So instead of doing that, I just made it so they all by default will replicate all the interaction settings. But there's a boolean that you can turn off. That is b replicate interactive or b replicate grip settings or something like that. And if you turn it off, it won't automatically replicate it. So people that are relying on it not replicating can still keep that functionality, but by default, it should be more logical and work better for people. So, oh, another thing, all the scaling, you can't really scale physics objects too well. I would actually have to go and scale them on the physics thing, and well, that's a huge bother, and I'm not entirely sure I should support it to begin with. So at least for now, if you want a scaling grip, it has to be a physics only or non-physically simulating grip to work. Which isn't a big deal, because I don't think very many people can use it for something like that, so not a big deal. But now that 4.16 Preview 2 has come out, they fixed the bug I reported where you couldn't attach C++ interfaces to things anymore. So now I was able to attach my grip interface to this full actor and only override the on-child grip event and set to deny gripping, of course. So now that I can keep the console at my waistband, walk over to do something, pick it up like, oh, it must be an event. And there, I got my console. I'll hide it away again. Just put it there. Or I could do something like this. I have it no collision right now, so I could just keep it down in front of me and look at it whenever I need it. There we go. So I thought people would enjoy the scaling. I'm not sure who's going to find a use for it now, but I wanted it to work in multiplayer, and it does. When you release a scaled grip, the server has the last say on what the scale is. It'll replicate back down to the client what the new scale is. So for clients, they may see, they let go, and it tells the server, hey, I let go, and the server replicates back, well, this is your new position for holding it. So the client might see it, hitch a little bit because the server's got it a little differently. But I wanted it server authoritative, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. I can't see people using scaling grips for much that's going to be a problem with. Especially if it's like building or something, you want it to be in the exact same place as the server says. Fixed a bug with this button where I forgot to make it work if it wasn't hooked up to an electrical system. So now it is. These all work differently and better than they used to, so that's good. And I don't know, I think my next goal is, one, I want to get the sockets working correctly with this because this works with sockets, but that's not where the hand's supposed to be on this grip, is right there. The hand on that grip is supposed to be about there. So the socket scaling isn't working quite right now. It's not a big deal, it only happens on the scaling grip. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to revise a lot of replication now. I was doing some net tests, and the grip struct for what actually tells, how you're gripping stuff, it's still a little heavy on the network. So I'm going to go in and start compressing it down more. Maybe play with some delta serialization for the T array that's holding it. And I don't know. Till my next update.